WSAZ Sports Plus, all new this evening.
Here to give us the preview of tonight's episode, we have Joseph Payton. Joseph, always great to see you here.
Yeah, always great to see you too as well.
Okay,
Another episode.
Yeah, so we've talked about it before. WSAZ Sports Plus is your streaming show every week out, Tuesdays at 6:30. So tell us about the guests you have tonight.
We have the new executive director of the WSAZ. Of course, that's all member institutions, middle school and high school in West Virginia. And so, you know, with the new guy at the helm, we just wanted to kind of bring him on and let him talk in depth. There he is. There's Wayne Ryan. You've probably seen him before if you've been to any of the state tournaments, state championships. He's been with the SSAC, so he's been around, but he assumed this new role on July 1st. So it was just a good chance to kind of get to know him and what his goals are.
What did you guys talk about?
Well, we talked about a lot of things. You know, what he's excited for. He basically told me, hey, I think that our high school sporting events are the biggest show in town in almost all of our communities. I agree.
I agree too.
So we talked about that, the good things. You know, there are a lot of contentious topics, you know, when it comes to transfer rules, and now you have this NIL policy, classification criteria. So we got into the weeds with a lot of things. You know, we weren't piling on the SSAC. It was more just like, hey, tell us how you feel about it, because I'm sure he hears criticism all the time and hears a lot of the good things too. So it was a good conversation.
Yeah, the classification criteria, I mean, that is that's a hot button issue with a lot of schools. It
certainly is, and Keith and I talked about that on our previous episodes. So it was really a good chance to get Wayne Ryan on to talk more in depth about it. You know, we had the issue with the high school football playoffs last year, and the contention was the classification criteria, and so now this year they've changed a lot of that. It only pertains to your total school enrollment. It doesn't take into account some of those socioeconomic and location related factors that a lot of people were really confused about last year. So he breaks that down for us, and he really feels like we're going to have a much smoother, not just football season, but just athletic season in general.
Along with those classification changes, that means some of these schools, when they go up against that team on Friday night, they may never have played them before?
Sure. Well, it kind of depends. Whenever you are, say, a Quad A school, you want to schedule as many Quad A schools as you can, because depending on how big or small the school is, you can get more playoff points, you can get less. So it does kind of create a scenario where, say, if you're Huntington's Billy Seals, you're looking around the state for other Quad A schools, and so you might see some matchups this year that you're not used to. So a lot of travel and a lot of new matchups, but it's fun that way. You get to see schools go up against each other that you don't often see.
Makes for a fun Friday night.
No doubt, for sure.
What's the latest on the transfer rules?
Well, so we actually just had them kind of come down with a new policy. So NIL is here in West Virginia, and he talked a little bit about that. The SSAC approved that back in July. It's just now going into effect. You know, I asked him about the NIL stuff on this episode, and, you know, full disclosure, we recorded it last week before it came into effect. He said it's not necessarily something that I think that we need, but it's coming. When you see stuff in the college ranks, it usually trickles down into the high school level. And so Lisa Feinstein's actually doing a story today talking with him more in depth about it, and, you know, how it's going to look, because you don't want it to get as out of control as it is in college. And he said that to me last week. So.
And this also goes, the new rules are in effect for middle school.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's like, to me, that's like, okay, we're dealing with 11 and 12-year-olds.
Right, that's what a lot of people may not realize about the SSAC, is it doesn't just pertain to high schools. There are member institutions that you know, are in the mix at the middle school level as well. So I mean, yeah, in theory you could have 7th and 8th graders that could cash in on an NIL opportunity. But there are rules in place, and hopefully they're able to police them to where it doesn't get out of control like you see in college football, you know?
Okay, before we let you go, give us an update on how Fired Up Friday is coming along.
Oh, well, we're a week and a half away. We'll be at Gallia Academy next Friday. That's our first one. We went there in 2023, 2 years ago, so excited to get back there. They have a new coach at the helm. And so, yeah, we're preparing for Fired Up Friday. I was talking to Jay Melvin as I walked in this morning, because we have some meetings with schools coming up. Going to East Carter and Belfry on Friday to meet with them and get them up to speed. And so this is our last week of sanity, I think. And then next week it's all football, it's all
It does
pep
get
rally
crazy
stuff.
for you guys at this time of year.
Definitely.
Well, we always love tuning into everything you're doing. Remind everybody real quickly for the Sports Plus, how they find that.
Yes, so like I said, if you're watching us on Channel 3 right now on TV, in order to watch Sports Plus, you got to get on your phone, or if you have a smart TV where you watch us on the WSAZ app. So just think WSAZ app, whether that's on a TV or on your phone, on an iPad, whatever.
Okay.
6:30, you pull up the live streams tab, and give us a couple minutes, maybe 6:32, 6:33.
And that's
Exactly
6:30 in the evening.
Correct.
Not in the morning.
Every Tuesday. Now, if you miss us, you can always go to WSAZ.com. We post the full episodes on there. Also on our YouTube channel, if you like to listen, Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Great.
We try to get it everywhere.
Yeah, always great talking with you.
Sure.
You're going to have a busy couple of months here.
We certainly are, yeah.
Yeah.
Try to get some sleep, you know.
Best of luck to you.